I'm actually really clumsy. Sorry in advance. I know I said I was a great bowler on our first date, but honestly, I just wanted to impress you. I hope that's okay. I'm nervous, but let's have fun. Thanks for understanding. I appreciate it.
I thought you were joking. But I'm glad you're honest. Let's enjoy the game. I booked the lane to see your moves. Professional or not, it'll be fun. I promise I won't judge. Let's have fun and see what happens.
Really? That's a relief to hear. I was so worried you'd think I was a liar. I actually haven't bowled in years, so I'm pretty rusty. But I'll give it my best shot. That's all I can do, right? And I promise to be honest from now on. No more exaggerations.
Absolutely. Honesty is the best policy. I appreciate you telling me. Now, let's get our shoes and pick a ball. I want to see that famous grip you mentioned. You said you had a special technique, remember? I'm curious to see it in action. Even if it's rusty, it should be entertaining.
That's so thoughtful of you. I feel bad now for lying. I really didn't expect you to take my bowling story so seriously. I hope you're not disappointed. I'll try my best to be fun, if not skilled. Thanks for planning this. I appreciate the effort.
No disappointment at all. I'm just excited to hang out. The lane is ready, and I already got us some snacks. Let's go find our ball. I promise I won't laugh if you drop it. Well, maybe a little, but in a friendly way. Let's get started. I'll go first to show you how terrible I am.
You know, I was thinking. Maybe we could grab a coffee first? I'm a bit hungry. We could come back to bowling later? I just need a moment to warm up. Would that be okay with you?
Hey, I understand the nerves, but I already paid for the lane and it's non-refundable. Plus, the coffee shop here is closed. Let's just start one game, and if you really hate it, we can stop. Deal? I'll even let you use my lucky ball. Come on, it'll be fun. I'm sure you'll surprise yourself.
Alright, fair warning, I'm terrible at bowling, but I'll give it my best shot. I actually lied about being good. I just wanted to seem impressive. I'm sorry for not being honest earlier. Can we still have fun? I hope you can forgive me. I promise to be real from now on.
Wait, I have to tell you something. I lied about being a good cook on our first date. I can barely boil pasta. So we're even. I'm glad you confessed. Now we can be perfectly imperfect together. Let's bowl badly and laugh about it. This is going to be a memorable second date.
I really messed up. But you know what? I'm not going to hide anymore. Fair warning, I'm terrible at bowling, but I'll give it my best shot. Even if I look ridiculous, at least I'm being honest.
That's the spirit. I booked this lane because I wanted to see your pro moves. Now I'm just curious to see your no moves. Honestly, I was nervous too. I lied about my cooking on our first date. So we're even. Let's just have fun and be ourselves.
Thanks for not judging me. I was so scared you'd think I was a liar. But you're right, honesty is better. Okay, let's do this. This one looks light enough. How heavy is yours? Maybe we should have started with a lighter ball.
Go for it. I'll show you my technique, which is also terrible. I have to confess, my bowling form is as bad as my cooking. But honestly, I'd rather bowl badly with you than perfectly with anyone else. Let's just enjoy the moment.
Here goes nothing. Whoa, this is heavier than I thought. My fingers barely fit in the holes. I feel like a total amateur. I'm trying to act experienced, but my hand is shaking. Maybe I should have confessed earlier. Now I'm stuck with this oversized ball and a lie. At least the pins are far away.
That's the authentic pro grip. Actually, I read that you should use the lightest ball you can control. That pink one is 10 pounds, much easier on the fingers. I always go for the lightest because I have terrible form.
Good advice. I'll switch. Watch out, pins. Swings and releases. Oh no, it went straight into the gutter. That was pathetic. I guess I really am terrible. The key is to laugh it off, right? So, what's the phrase again? Fair warning, I'm terrible at bowling, but I'll give it my best shot. That's what I should have said earlier. Now I know better.
Excellent form. For a first try, that was textbook gutter delivery. My turn. Bowls, and I got a strike. I love bumpers. That's why I came clean about the cooking lie. It felt good to be honest. So, next time you want to admit a flaw, try. I have to confess, I'm not the best cook, but I make a mean salad. It works wonders. See? Imperfection can be charming.
You know, I used to think I had to be perfect on a date. But after tonight, I realize honesty can actually be charming. Who would have thought that admitting I'm terrible at bowling would make the date better? And those bumpers certainly helped. I'm glad we could laugh about our little lies.
Me too. I think honesty really is more attractive than perfection. Who knew? So, fair warning, I'm terrible at cooking, but I make a mean reservation. How about next Friday? I'll book that new Italian place, and you can bring your famous salad. Or we can just order dessert.
Wait, Leo, you booked the whole lane because I said I was amazing? I was just joking. I'm actually terrible at bowling. I should have been honest from the start. Now I'm so nervous I can't stop shaking. My hands are sweating just looking at that ball.
Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be great. I've been looking forward to this all week. When you said you were an amazing bowler, I completely believed you. I even told my friends I was going on a date with a pro. Now I get to see it live. I'm so excited.
That's sweet, but I feel like I've set you up for disappointment. I really exaggerated my skills. I mean, I've only bowled a few times, and never very well. Maybe we could do something else? I know a great coffee shop nearby where we can sit and talk.
No way, I've been looking forward to this. You said you were a pro, and I want to see it. Besides, we already have the shoes. Let's just have fun. I even practiced a little myself, so we can be bad together.
But don't say I didn't warn you. I'm going to need bumpers, a lot of bumpers. And probably a mulligan for every frame. My pro claim was a bit exaggerated. I've maybe bowled twice, and both times were disasters. So prepare for a show of terrible bowling.
Bumpers are fine. Even pros use them in practice. Let's grab a ball. Pick one that fits your hand. I'm no expert either, but I'll go easy on you, maybe. Actually, I'm curious to see your pro moves in action. Just don't break the lane.
My hands are shaking. I can barely hold this ball. I keep picturing it rolling into the gutter over and over. I have to tell him the truth before I make a fool of myself.
You look a bit pale. Are you okay? On our first date you said you loved bowling and were amazing at it. But now you seem really nervous. What's going on? Did I get it wrong? I was so excited to bowl with you tonight because I thought it would be fun.
I have to be honest. I lied. I'm not good at bowling. I said that to impress you on our first date. I'm sorry. I was nervous and wanted to seem cool.
Are you kidding? I lied too. I said I was a good cook, but I can barely boil water. I was hoping you wouldn't ask for a home-cooked meal. Now we're even.
Could we maybe just grab a coffee instead? I promise it'll be more fun. I think I need to sit down and talk more. Bowling can be intense, and I'm not sure I'm in the mood. Would that be okay?
You said you were an amazing bowler. Coffee can wait, let's see those pro moves first. I even booked the lane with the glow-in-the-dark pins. It'll be fun, I promise. What do you say? Ready to show off?
I guess you're right. But can we at least promise coffee right after? I might need a caffeine boost to deal with my bowling anxiety. And maybe a quick lesson on how not to throw the ball into the gutter?
Deal. Coffee after, and I'll teach you my secret trick, aim for the bumpers. Actually, I have no trick. But we can laugh at ourselves together. You know, when you said I'm terrible at bowling a minute ago, I heard you blend the words together. I'm terrible at sounds like one smooth phrase. That's connected speech. Try it with me, I'm terrible at bowling.
Alright, let's do this. But if I break the machine, you're paying for it. Which ball should I pick? This one looks light. I notice you're teaching me pronunciation from my own confession. That's clever. So if I say I have to confess quickly, it becomes I have to confess, right? Let me test that. I have to confess, I'm nervous, but I'm also excited to learn.
You'll have more control with a lighter ball. I used to grab the heaviest one too, but it just wore me out. So try this 8-pounder. And I promise I won't laugh if you drop it, well, maybe a little, but in a good way.
It's still heavy though. You know, I think I picked the heaviest one on purpose to seem strong. That backfired. Now my fingers are sweating, and I can barely hold it. So much for my pro moves, right? I guess honesty is the best policy, but it's hard to admit when you've built up an image.
You're too funny. Okay, let's get our shoes on and then you can show me your pro grip. I'll go first, so you can see how not to do it. I'm no expert myself. Last time I bowled a 60. We're not here to win, we're here to have a good time. Have you ever bowled before? It's okay if you haven't. Ready?
Okay, shoes are on. Now the ball. I grab it and whoa. It's heavier than I thought. My fingers are slipping. I almost drop it on my foot. That would have been the perfect start.
Whoa, careful. That's a 12-pounder. You have to warm up first. And maybe stretch your fingers. You look like you're about to arm wrestle the ball. But you know what? I used to think I had to be perfect on a date. So I get it. But honestly, this is way more entertaining. Go ahead, give it a try. Even if you drop it, I'll laugh. Just kidding. Sort of.
This 8-pounder feels more manageable, but my hands are still sweaty. I grab it and nearly drop it again. I exaggerated a lot on our first date. I'm sorry if that disappoints you.
That's a good weight for beginners. But you said you were amazing, so I'm curious to see your form. Did you really bowl a 200 last time? That's professional level. I've never broken 120 myself. So you're way ahead of me if that's true.
I take the ball from you and it still feels heavy. My fingers are slippery. I almost drop it again. See? This is the real me. I never bowled a 200. I've never even broken 100. I just made that up because I wanted to sound cool.
You know, for someone who claimed to be amazing, you look terrified. But that 200 story is very specific. Are you saying you lied about the whole thing? That would be a pretty big exaggeration. I mean, I don't mind if you're not great, but honesty is important.
I did exaggerate. On our first date I panicked and claimed I was a pro. But fair warning, I'm terrible at bowling, but I'll give it my best shot. That's me being honest now.
You said you were amazing. I booked this place specifically because of that. Now you're saying you're terrible? That's a bit of a letdown. But I appreciate you coming clean now. So what's the real story? Are you just nervous or actually bad?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to deceive you. I just wanted to seem cool. But now I realize that's dumb. So, here goes. The truth is, I'm not good at bowling at all. I'm actually pretty bad.
Look, I don't mind if you're not great at bowling. But honesty matters. If you just said you weren't good, I'd still want to hang out. Are you going to tell me you've never bowled before? Or that you're just rusty?
Fair warning, I'm terrible at bowling, but I'll give it my best shot. That's the truth. No more lies. I hope you can accept that. I'm nervous but excited to play with you.
Ha! That's the line? Fair warning, I'm terrible at bowling, but I'll give it my best shot. I like that. It's honest and playful. Okay, deal. Let's see that best shot. I'm glad you told me the truth. This is already more fun than I expected.
So when I finally said I'm a bit rusty, Leo called me out immediately. He said, "You said you were amazing." Right then I knew I had to drop the weak excuses and just be honest.
Exactly. When someone says I'm a bit rusty, it still sounds like they are good but just out of practice. So I felt tricked. That's why I pushed. But her next line changed everything.
So I took a deep breath and decided to just say it. Listen carefully to the tone, fair warning dash. Fair warning dash.
Now she says the core confession. Listen to how she owns it. I'm terrible at bowling. I'm terrible at bowling.
But then I immediately add a positive spin, but I'll give it my best shot. That's the key. It's not just a flaw, it's a challenge. But I'll give it my best shot.
Now put it together slowly. Listen to the rhythm. Fair warning, I'm terrible at bowling, but I'll give it my best shot. Notice the slight pause after warning. Fair warning, I'm terrible at bowling, but I'll give it my best shot.
Now for the listening detail. In I'm terrible at, the T in terrible can be soft. And at bowling links together, a bowling almost. I'm terrible at bowling. I'm terrible at bowling.
And notice how she says best shot. The T in best is often silent or very light. So it sounds like best shot. Best shot. Best shot.
I'll say it, then you repeat. Fair warning, I'm terrible at bowling, but I'll give it my best shot. Ready? Fair warning, I'm terrible at bowling, but I'll give it my best shot.
Great. You'll get it. Now, after she said that, I laughed and admitted I'd lied about my cooking. So her honesty made me feel safe to share my flaw too. And you know what? He laughed and said he'd lied about his cooking.
I know I said I was amazing, but that was a little white lie. Please don't be mad. Fair warning, I'm terrible at bowling, but I'll give it my best shot.
Wait, I have to tell you something. I lied about my cooking on our first date. I said I was a great cook, but I can barely boil water. Can you believe it? Wait, I have to tell you something. I lied about my cooking on our first date.
Really? You too? I feel so relieved. I thought I was the only one who exaggerated. I was so nervous you'd think I was a liar. This is great. I feel so relieved. I thought I was the only one who exaggerated.
Yeah, I said I could make a gourmet meal, but the truth is I only know how to order takeout. It's embarrassing, but I'm glad we're being honest now. I said I could make a gourmet meal, but I only know how to order takeout.
I thought I would drop it. I'm so glad you confessed first, that made it easier for me. I was literally shaking when I picked up the bowling ball.
Me too. My hands were sweaty. I kept thinking, what if she finds out I'm not a bowling pro? But now I see honesty is better. We're both in the same boat. My hands were sweaty. I kept thinking, what if she finds out I'm not a bowling pro?
You know, this honesty actually makes me feel more connected. I think our second date is going better than the first. Let's bowl badly together. This honesty actually makes me feel more connected.
I'm sorry I interrupted. What were you going to say? I laughed because I was nervous too, but now I'm ready. Go ahead, I promise I won't laugh at your bowling skills. Please finish your sentence, I want to hear the rest.
Okay, as I was saying, but I'll give it my best shot. That's what I was going to say. I'll try my hardest even if I'm terrible, and I promise to have fun no matter what. So don't expect any strikes, just lots of laughter. But I'll give it my best shot.
That's perfect. I love that attitude. Ready? I'll go first and show you my terrible form. Let's both give it our best shot and see who can make the biggest fool of themselves.
So here goes nothing. I'm just going to swing and hope for the best. I used to think I had to be perfect on a date.
Wait, I have to confess something too. I lied about being a good cook on our first date. I can barely make toast. But I'll give it my best shot if you cook for me. But now I realize honesty can be charming.
So we're both frauds. I'd love to try your toast sometime. But for now, let's see who can get the most gutter balls. So when he said, "You said you were amazing," I felt stuck.
You're on. I'll go first. Watch and learn. Or don't. Bowls, and that's a gutter ball. Told you I'm terrible. But I'm having the best time. I decided to just say it, I actually lied about my bowling skills.
I guess honesty really is the best policy. This is way more fun than pretending to be good. And you know what? He laughed and said he'd lied about his cooking.
See? We're perfect together, both terrible at bowling and cooking. I think we should start a new score, based on smiles instead of points. You're winning so far. Fair warning.
I love that idea. Honesty really does make things better. But now I realize showing my flaws is more charming. I'm terrible at.
Exactly. And you know what phrase works for admitting flaws? I'm not the best at this, but I'm having fun. It's honest and positive. Like we're doing right now. I have to confess.
That's a good one. Let me try. I'm not the best at bowling, but I'm having a great time with you. See? It sounds so much better than "I'm sorry I'm bad. I'm not the best."
Perfect. You've got it. That's the key, frame your flaws positively. Now, let's forget about scores and just enjoy our terrible bowling. I think this is the best second date ever. Fair warning, I'm terrible at bowling, but I'll give it my best shot.
You really think this is the best second date ever? Even before I confessed? Well, fair warning, I'm terrible at bowling, but I'll give it my best shot. I feel much better now. And you know what? I'm actually excited to play. I have to confess, I'm not the best cook, but I make a mean salad.
Ha! I love it. You should have seen your face when you picked up that ball. But hey, we're here to have fun, not to impress. So let's just bowl badly and enjoy ourselves. And I have to tell you, your honesty makes this date even better. This isn't my strongest area, but I'm a quick learner.
You know, since we're being honest, I have to confess, I'm not the best cook either, but I make a mean salad. That's my one signature dish. I have to confess.
A mean salad? That sounds great. I love a good salad. And you know, I lied about being a good cook. I can only make pasta. So next date, I'll cook pasta, and you bring the salad. Deal? I'm not the best.
Deal. I'll even add some croutons. But seriously, I'm glad we're being honest. It takes the pressure off. Now let's see if I can at least hit one pin. Fair warning, I'm terrible at bowling, but I'll give it my best shot.
See? This is way better than pretending. I remember on our first date, I was so nervous I said I was a great cook. But now I don't have to keep up that lie. It's liberating. I have to confess, I'm not the best cook, but I make a mean salad.
You're right. I feel so much lighter now. And I think this date is actually more fun because we're not trying to be perfect. So thank you for being honest too. This isn't my strongest area, but I'm a quick learner.
This honesty thing works in other situations too. Like at work, if you're not great at something, you can say, "This isn't my strongest area, but I'm a quick learner." That's professional and honest. I used to think I had to be perfect on a date.
That's a good one. Let me try it. This isn't my strongest area, but I'm a quick learner. I can use that in my next meeting. Thanks for the tip. But now I realize honesty can be charming.
Exactly. And it's true. Framing is everything. Just like how we turned our bowling disaster into a great date. So remember, I'm not the best, but I'm having fun works in life too. So when he said, "You said you were amazing," I felt stuck.
Exactly. So at work, I can say, this isn't my strongest area, but I'm a quick learner. That frames it as positive. I'll try that tomorrow. I decided to just say it, I actually lied about my bowling skills.
We just finished bowling. My score? Terrible. But we had fun. Now imagine you just finished a bad game. What can you say to admit it without being negative? Pause and think.
I'd say, I'm not the best bowler, but I had a great time. That's honest and positive. Or if you want playful, fair warning, I'm terrible, but I give it my best shot. Both work. Your choice.
Now try saying, I'm not great at bowling, but I'm learning. Use a warm voice. Don't apologize. Just state it and add the positive. Go ahead.
Did you say it? Great. Notice how that sounds? It's honest but not heavy. That's the evidence. The other person usually relaxes. In our date, Leo laughed when I said it. So it works.
Right. So the consequence is you feel more connected. And the other person feels they can be honest too. That's the real win. So after this test, remember, honesty with a positive frame is a superpower.
You know, at the start I was so nervous about my bowling lie. But after we talked, I realized honesty can be charming. So my takeaway, you don't have to be perfect. Just be real and playful. That's the trigger for a deeper connection.
I completely agree. And I loved how you handled it. I can see we both value authenticity now. So for our third date, maybe we try something we're both new at, like rock climbing? But no lies this time. That way we can start fresh, and you can use your new phrases too. Fair warning, I'm terrible at climbing.
Haha, exactly. And you know, I've got evidence now that admitting flaws works. You said you lied about cooking, and we laughed about it. So the evidence is clear, vulnerability bonds people. I used to think I had to be perfect, but that just creates stress. Now I have proof that being imperfect is actually more attractive.
Yes, and the consequence is a stronger relationship. We ended up having a great time even though we bowled badly. So the takeaway, don't be afraid to say, I'm not great at this, but I'm having fun. That's the consequence of choosing honesty. And now you have 3 phrases to use in any situation. So go out and practice. This is the ultimate payoff.